Well, if it's not another video. You may be wondering where me and my van are today. It is in the backyard of somebody I found on Hip Camp in Charlotte. There's not a lot of places in Charlotte proper that you can camp, almost none. I stayed overnight in a Planet Fitness parking lot that was 24 hours. I didn't actually go to the gym. It was too cold, I was just not into it. But unless you go outside, like way outside the city, to a campground, or RV park, or something like that, there's really not a lot for you. I did find like a street parking spot to get my nails done. It's that time. It's been like at least 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks, since I got them done when I was in St. Pete. So yeah, there's some street parking available, but I Ubered to the mall today from the backyard that I'm in. He's got like a garden, and I'm just like in somebody's backyard, and I think it's $50 a night. Maybe it was $35, I really don't remember. But all I knew is when I saw it, and it was like within walking distance of a bunch of shops and restaurants. I'm in NODA, the arts district in Charlotte. I was like, I gotta do this, because like what a rare opportunity to be in a city in a van, camping leisurely in a van, not stealth parking, not hiding from authorities. It's like I can actually unpack a little bit. So I'm out in the yard, and it's totally private back here. Oh my god, there's a big stink bug right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna flick it. Ready? Now it's over there. Oh, I don't like bugs. I feel like when I see them, it's like my intuition is a lot more sensitive than me. I guess I don't know what I want to say about that, but like I always seem to know like where there's a bug before it like crawls on me. Like I just happen to see it, and I really feel like that's my higher self steering in a way, or my guardian angel. Whatever, there's many ways to look at it, but yeah, this is just like too cool of an opportunity, and I am having dinner with Dee tonight. She is one of my former Proofread Anywhere students, and now she's doing a lot of other cool stuff. Oh yeah, I guess that's kind of a good segue. I've had several comments out of the millions that I've gotten since I started this channel. No, I'm just kidding. I love it when you guys leave me comments. So if you are enjoying my stories or my musings and want to ask me a question, feel free to ask me a question. One of the questions that's been asked quite a bit in the comments, enough for me to think of it now and to want to answer it, is about my business that I sold. Well, in 2014, almost exactly 9 years ago, it'll be 9 years ago on November 1st of this year, I bought the domain for a little website called proofreadanywhere.com. And within 6 months, that blog grew to $100,000 in revenue. Most of that being in the first 3 months when I launched the online course, so from February until the middle of May. And that was without any paid advertising. It was just me sitting down trying to figure out how to get this out to people, which is what marketing is. Like I didn't know that what I was doing was marketing. I was just like, people need this information, or people will benefit from this information, and I need to figure out how to get it out to them. And so I just did what felt like the right thing to do, and it worked. So now I've had 9 years of marketing under my belt, and I love it. When done right, it is the best thing ever. I used to think I hated marketing, but that was because I thought that it was like the sleazy sales and marketing that you see where people are just like wanting to make their quota or make a commission or whatever, and they don't really believe or care about what they're trying to sell you. It's different when you believe in and care about what somebody's trying to sell you, right? And it's not that people are wanting to sell you stuff, it's that they want to share what their message is. So yeah, I didn't expect a lot of people to care about Proofread Anywhere, but I knew like when people were asking me about it, I would tell them everything I knew about it, and then one of two things would happen: that they would do anything with the information, or they would take it and run with it, and it would change their life. So I was like, I probably should charge for this, even if it's just a couple of people a month, you know. I thought I would do 10 one-on-one trainings a month. And then I was like, well, I'm going to write an ebook so it can save me some time. And then it turned into an online course, which I didn't know how to teach something like proofreading. It hadn't been done before. It really hadn't been done before. I was first to market in how to start a proofreading business. And now there's quite a bit of competition, but mine's the best because we were the first. So we've gotten a lot of market research done just by the number of people that have come to Proofread Anywhere. But anyway, I sold that company last year after 8 years of having it. it because it grew so fast. I grew so fast. I almost couldn't keep up with it all. And I was divorcing in 2018. So after 4 years of it, it was very stressful. Like when you go from not really having a lot of money and not being able to make a lot of money, and then you go to being able to, and it feels like it was overnight when I just don't realize we're all capable of making a lot of money. Like now I have this totally different mindset about money that I love talking about with people, because my mindset about money almost kept me from starting that website. I really believed that I would never make more than $40,000 a year, and I didn't know whether I wanted that new thing to replace my income, if it was going to be something I didn't like as much as the actual proofreading itself, if that makes sense. So I was already proofreading part-time and being a personal trainer part-time, and I was like, if I have to work one-on-one with people and teach them how to proofread versus sit quietly and proofread and make the same amount of money, like I don't know if I want that, right? But I had no idea what it could turn into. And it turned into a multi-million-dollar media company. I had multiple different products, not just the proofreading stuff. I launched something called Work at Home School, and that was a huge success right out the gate. But it was a very resource intensive to uphold or upkeep and maintain and nurture, and nobody's going to care about it as much as me, which maybe that's the limiting belief, and it probably is, but at that time that's what my belief was, and so that was my reality. And I got divorced and the company was cleaned out. Like bank account was empty, and I had debt, like credit card debt, $180,000 in credit card debt. Yes, $180,000 in credit card debt. And there's people walking by, if you hear their voices, in the next yard. It was a challenging time getting divorced and trying to run this business. I hired two of my best friends, Brittany and Talia, who were just amazing people. I'm still friends with both of them today, and they saw me trying to deal with the fact that like everything had been leveled financially for me. And all the company almost went with it, if not for the amazing people that stood by my side and helped me through it. I did not know what was happening. I was having some mental health issues. And for years I blamed those mental health issues on, I just smoked too much weed. But now 5 years later, I look back on it and I was like, my entire fucking world was falling apart. Excuse my French. And I never really gave enough credit. I don't want to say that, that's not the right word, but like never really paid enough mind to the fact that I was going through that. It was such a shock at the time. I think back to like, it wasn't, I remember feeling like it wasn't that big of a deal, but now I look back at it, I was like, it's a huge deal when everything you know to be true about your life could like just disappears. And you go through this crisis. It was like this massive identity crisis. Yeah, my entire world fell apart. My business almost fell apart, but it didn't. I got out of debt in like 4 months. I mean, I still have my home mortgage, but like that credit card debt was gone between 4 and 5 months from the divorce being finalized. The business was still making money for me to pay my bills on, but I was scared. I was like, he took all of my money. He took all of my money. All the money that the company had made, most of it, I would say most of every single penny he got every single penny he got came from that business, because we didn't have all that much money. I say we didn't, but he had a trust. Like he got like 306 control of his trust, and that I couldn't touch that because it wasn't like a marital asset or whatever. But every single penny that my company made, Proofread Anywhere, despite him being 50% owner because I put his name down, I didn't know I didn't need to do that. I was such a people pleaser that I had this same realization about my business too. I was such a people pleaser that I, for years, gave my ex-husband credit for the idea for Proofread Anywhere. But I named it. I bought the domain, I built the website, I wrote the book, I wrote the blog, I wrote the emails, I did all of it. Yeah, he was in a mastermind where somebody in his mastermind was making money on an ebook. He was a contributor to that, but I gave him so much more credit than I gave myself. I realized that I didn't feel as free to create because of my people-pleasing tendencies. Like I would have to talk to Ben, my ex-husband, about every idea I had in the business, not because I was not sure of those ideas, but because I needed his validation and approval. People pleasing, approval seeking, that was me. but I didn't seek approval from or validation from myself. Like now I validate myself and I approve of myself and I respect myself, and I have that relationship with myself that I didn't before. And everything's different. Everything's different. And I've learned that what I went through, I mean, discovering the medical medium made it a lot more clear that burnout was a real thing, and emotional distress, like what I went through, that I'm finally seeing clearly for what it was, this emotional stress and my entire life falling apart and being scared out of my mind to the point where I didn't even recognize it because it felt so different than anything else I'd ever felt before. I had no clue. I just have this more integrated way of looking at it than I did before, where I was like, oh yeah, I was just smoking too much pot. And even if you listen to my podcast, this is a very recent realization. You'll hear me on the podcast talk about how, oh yeah, you know, it was just me smoking too much pot and like the scientific reasons behind it, like it heated up my brain in a certain section, it made me manic and all that stuff. But I look back on those occasions that I was supposedly manic and I was just having a really massive spiritual awakening, because all the things that people thought I was crazy for saying and thinking, there definitely was some like, I mean, cannabis did contribute. For sure. I mean, you're like stoned all the time. It does things to you. But I didn't know the role that simply being traumatized and scared, how that could affect your brain too, and its functioning and the hormones. Like, I had no idea how it all came together. And that's why I'm so grateful for having gone through that, because I wouldn't know that stuff now. I wouldn't have this wisdom that has helped me get rid of fear, shed the scarcity mindset. Like, I've gotten through 100% of all of my bad days, and there were some really bad days, and now I just know that I'm gonna be okay no matter what. I don't need to feel any fear, which there's healthy fear, of course, like, you know, not going out by yourself at night and sketchy neighborhood or whatever, like buying bear spray if you're gonna go camping by yourself. Like, I did that. There's healthy fear. But the kind of fear that was keeping me home all the time, the kind of fear that had me settling for a guy that had no idea, like, could not see me for who I was, and just had a completely skewed image of me because of the image that he had of himself. People project their own reality onto you. And like, I was dating a guy on and off for over a year, and we broke up in the end of January, and there have been 2 opportunities where I could have gone and seen him, but I turned him down for both of them in the end, despite initially making, you know, some kind of loose plans and even like more concrete plans where he'd booked a hotel room, a really fancy place. It was so tempting to me to want to go and, you know, stay at the beach, especially because it had been cold, you know. I was like, it'd be really nice. But I'm so glad I didn't go. Like, I would have still been there probably Monday morning or Sunday night anyway. It was this past weekend that I would have gone. And I've just been having such a good time. Like, I'm just having the time of my life. And if I had left Suzanne's place on Wednesday last week to get down to Jacksonville, which is where I was going to meet him, none of the stuff that happened in Tennessee or in Pikeville, meeting that guy Jeff, never would have happened. And I got my stove fixed, and, you know, we became great friends, had the best time. I got to meet some really fun people there. I feel like I would go back just to see them, you know. I really like them. I don't think I'll drive up that mountain again, though. Oh my gosh. It was just this really rough road, and I didn't like it. But I wouldn't have seen my friend Rachel that I met in coaching school. I saw her yesterday. I wouldn't have gone to the mall today. I am refreshing my wardrobe, which is weird because I just packed most of my clothes that I wanted to keep anyway into the van. But I've been listening to a couple different podcasts lately and just really marinating on the stuff I learned in coaching school. And I realized that I didn't want to, I say this as I'm wearing sweatpants, but I'm trying to sort out my laundry to get picked up and washed for me tomorrow, and so I'm wearing sweatpants so I could put my jeans in the wash. But I just don't love the clothes I have, and I really believe that what we wear and how we present ourselves, even to just ourselves, matters. And I have, seems like really since college, I've had this tendency to just not dress up for myself, not put makeup on if nobody else is going to be around. But I love the way I look wearing makeup. I look at myself in the mirror when I have highlighter powder on my face and bronzer on my cheeks and my mascara is done. I have eyeshadow. I used to love putting on makeup when I was a kid. I used to beg my mom to wear makeup. Beg her. And I wasn't allowed till 8th grade. But I will make excuses on why not to do it. It also takes me like 5-10 minutes to do my makeup. And it looks great. Like, I don't have to put on foundation or anything. But I really want to love all the clothes I have. So I'm actually sitting next to, and I'm using my tripod today, which I just realized I never turned the damn light on. Okay, I just turned the light on. I don't know if I can even tell a difference, but there is now a light around my camera. But I think the lighting looks good anyway. Just the natural light, just a little bit that's here. Anyway, I'm sitting next to a bag of stuff that I am donating. There's even some shoes in there. I threw away a pair of flip-flops because I looked at them and I no longer saw them the same way. I was like, this is just me holding on to something out of scarcity or the opposite of abundance, right? I want to have an abundant mindset. I want to have a creative mindset. And those two mindsets put together are what I call the wealthy mindset. The wealthy mind, for short. But I want to save that topic for another video because there's so much to be said about money and the mindset you have around it. But anyway, I had like Walmart shorts and Walmart, nothing that there's wrong with them. But with Walmart shorts in general, I kept a couple pairs. But some of the ones that I was holding on to that were relatively new, but I really didn't like the way the pockets were on them and just how my hands felt in them. Like you could just tell they were not good quality shorts. Like, I'm gonna let these go. I want to love everything I wear. I want to feel amazing in everything I wear, even my pajamas. So I got rid of some of my Walmart pajama pants and I replaced them with 3 new pairs of Tommy John pajama pants that are just like butter smooth. And I probably spent like $600 today on clothes, but I got 2 pairs of pants, 4 different tops, a pair of short, 3 pairs of pajama pants, 4 t-shirts for that. So, well, like quality brands. I went to Nordstrom and did like a personal shopping experience for an hour and it was free, and they get commission on clothes that they sell, probably a higher commission than regular cashiers, just checking you out. And I found some cool stuff. I'm excited about it. And that's why I have to send all this laundry out, because I want to wear it all, but not when it's like fresh out of the store. But I'm excited to be leveling up, and I was inspired to just come home and go through all my stuff and make sure I'm organized and clean before I go out and meet Dee tonight, which I have about an hour and 15 minutes until I need to be there. Yeah, maybe she wants to see the van. And the restaurant's like literally around the corner where we're going. I might have to try a cocktail. I don't know. I'm really teetering on the edge, and I'm thinking that like the work I'm doing and like how I see myself and like kind of transforming how I view who I am is gonna help me in many, many ways. You know, being honest with myself, like if this is taking up too much space and you don't need it, or you can just get another one at the dollar store, like you don't need to keep every little thing. If it's cluttering, like keeping things neat, taking the time. Like, I need a pedicure and I need to moisturize my skin, and I have this tendency to just not do those things and just let myself have forest feet and like just scaly skin, because it's just like, oh, who cares? Like, nobody's gonna see it, but I'm gonna see it. And I want to start treating myself like I am the best lover that I've ever had, and someone I'm totally and completely in love with. I'm just gonna treat myself as if I feel that way. And because I want to feel that way, and so I treat myself that way. That's how I'm going to make my life more magical, so to speak, which may sound delusional. I understand that. But I know it's possible. I met people. I'm going to an event in 2 weeks, like a meetup type event of other people who have done this work. But anyway, bringing it all back full circle, that's kind of a nutshell what my business was. And there's way more detail than that, but it's not really appropriate for this type of show. It's something that I'll share more of in the community that I'm launching in the new year about cultivating this wealthy mind. And yeah, it's kind of like a super informal announcement. What's it called? Like a soft opening, that this is in the works. The community that I have craved, and I've mentioned on here before that I've craved, I'm creating it. I'm really pumped about it. I'm pumped to be making content like this and to share my thoughts and experiences with you guys and stories. I'm grateful for anybody who's tuning in, and I'm hoping that you're getting something out of it, because I am, and I enjoy it. See you in the next video.